It was a bright and sunny day on the island of Sodor. Thomas the tank engine was traveling down his branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. Thomas is proud of his branch line, and he is proud of his coaches too. But Annie and Clarabelle are old-fashioned and need new paint, and the passengers were tired of waiting for their overhaul.
We don't want to be seen riding in two hideous-looking garden sheds on wheels.
At that point, Annie and Clarabelle had had enough. As soon as the Fat Controller heard the passengers' complaints, he spoke to Thomas. Annie and Clarabelle will go to the works for an overhaul. So tomorrow, you and Daisy will share the passenger loads. But how will I do that without any coaches? Don't worry, I've arranged for you to have a temporary coach. And with that, the Fat Controller went home. The next day, Thomas arrived at Ellsbridge Station. He was surprised to see a familiar face. It was old Slow Coach, who had been rescued by Thomas and Percy many years ago. Hello, Coach. Hello, Thomas. Haven't seen you in a long time. What are you doing here? Well, I'm the temporary coach the Fat Controller has told you about. Well then, we'd better get to work. But the passengers weren't too pleased with old Slow Coach either.
This coach is more uncomfortable than those two garden sheds. It's like riding in a goods van, if you ask me.
It got so bad that Thomas had to take Coach away and spend the rest of the morning mending her hurt feelings. That afternoon, the Fat Controller came to see Thomas. Good afternoon, sir. Any updates on Annie and Clarabelle? They're still at the works and should be out within a few days. Daisy will be taking the afternoon trains, and I need you to take a goods train to Napwood Harbor. And with that, the Fat Controller left. A few minutes later, Thomas arrived at the quarry and backed down onto the trucks. The signal dropped and Thomas puffed away, unaware of what the trucks were planning. But once Thomas left the quarry, the trucks started pushing him faster and faster down the line. The driver tried to put on the brakes, but it was useless. Up ahead was a piece of track that had been damaged by the hot sun. Thomas didn't realize this until it was too late. No one was hurt, but Thomas lay dazed and surprised as the trucks laughed endlessly. It didn't take long for Percy to arrive with the breakdown train. The Fat Controller arrived as well. Well, Thomas, it's clear to me that today has not been your best day. You must go to the works to have a bit of rest. Once you're repaired, you'll go back to your normal branch line duties. The Fat Controller stayed true to his word and had Thomas sent off to the works. When Thomas returned, he felt better than ever and traveled down the line with the newly refurbished Annie and Clarabelle, who had received new coats of paint and felt very proud. The passengers even stopped grumbling too, and life on Thomas's branch line had never been better.